free medium-sized oh! Vegeta says, it's my turn. Sit down, Frieza. The Big Bang attack directly to the face. I guess it's a Big Bang attack. I don't know, really. Oh, right off the bat.
Candy now.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome back. Welcome back. This is Nasdorachi. It is a brand new day. We have a new update in Legends and quite a few things to cover. As you can see on screen in multiple different areas, we do have Super Saiyan Shallot to discuss. He is pivotal to the campaign, the main story of this game. So we're going to definitely talk about him, how you can get him, where it's not very difficult, you guys, in a sense. I mean, it is difficult in terms of gameplay a little bit. We are going to quickly go over the changes to Sidestep. They are pretty monumental. The technique, in short, TLDR, the technique is about 50% as useful as what it was before, so you still can use it. It's just nowhere near as powerful, and we'll go over that really quickly. Then we do have Gogeta and Janemba, two very brand new heavy-hitting units to hit the game very hard, very fast, kind of out of the blue. I'm super happy about them, although it is a Legends Rising banner, which characteristically have been super unlucky for me. So hopefully we can channel a little bit of good luck, because most all of my summons have been fairly poor recently. But we're going to dive into that banner, check out the two new units, and then dive in and do some summons. So let's jump right in and spare no time BSing around. As you can see on screen, we do have Super Saiyan Shallot, and he comes with some nice fancy upgraded card art. As well, he's now at 3 stars. So how do you go about doing this? Well, if you again progress to the story and you go to the newest chapter, which actually honestly doesn't even seem to be the newest chapter. There may be one after this that I just haven't done yet. But once you get to Book 2, Part 7, or Book 7, sorry, Part 2, Book 7, Chapter 11 right here, the Clash Showdown with Frieza. Once you have engaged and completed this story mission, you will unlock Shallot's 3rd star, as well as the option to go Super Saiyan with Shallot. And what exactly does that entail? Well, it is basically a power-up to his main ability, where in battle you will start with base form Shallot, and then you can use his main ability when it becomes available, and like you see on screen, he will become Super Saiyan. His main ability is refreshed with a slightly powered up, I believe, version of his older main ability, where he regains some health, and I think this time he gets a 30% bonus to his strike attack, if I'm not mistaken. And you can see these are selectable, the different forms here, and I kind of like how his tail is actually gold too. Once you complete this stage, again, the customization menu will have new features available for you there. And don't hate me, you guys, I haven't spent a whole lot of time farming friendship levels because Shallot has not been meta at all, and he still kind of isn't, but maybe is, you know, usable now. But you can jump into this menu right here and equip all the special moves that you'd want to equip on Shallot to replace the Wild Cannon. And check your gift box as well. There is a new outfit, which is the Future Trunks outfit for Shallot. So again, do that mission in the story right there. And I'm not sure if it's the newest. No, there's another stage after that. So let's see here. I'm not going to attempt that right now, but it does keep going, which is cool. So I haven't done anything past the mission you need to do to get Shallot to go Super Saiyan. So from there, let's check out the news. That's basically everything you need to know about Shallot. Again, before we check out the news, actually, I've already completed them, but there are some missions that you'll want to do for raising Shallot to 1500, soul boosting him a certain amount of times, but go into the event missions, and there will be some new missions that you can, you know, basically train Shallot up and just kind of boost him up, and you'll get some nice stuff from that. So doing the story as well, up until the point where you get Shallot Super Saiyan, gives you a guaranteed sparking ticket for the Masters Pack, which we're going to do on this video as well. So now let's jump in and check out the news here. We have the confirmed in-game issues. This is, actually, I haven't read this. Under investigation. Let's see. The game will freeze with the character displayed on the app's home screen appears, blah, blah, blah. Even if the game freezes, characters will attain limit breaks. Oh, this is talking about the game freezing during summons. Yeah, that's happened to me in a lot of gacha-based games before. Final Fantasy Record Keepers. If you, by happenstance, happen to have been following me that long, the game has crashed during my summons. In the previous gacha game I used to play a lot, you still get the items. They show up in your, in your character list. You just skip the whole cool summoning part. You can check your summon history to see the results to make sure that you actually got, or to check what you got. But it definitely works. So training will be complete. It's basically talking about crashes. So when crashes happen during the game, you will still be able to reap whatever you're doing. Unless it crashes during a PvP fight, then it will unfortunately give you a loss. I've been there in that situation, or when I've gotten a phone call. So this is the step tech right here. We're going to read through this really quickly. With the update to version 1.17, we have implemented some changes to balance the battle, such as the controls known as Sidestep, Dash Step, Step Tech, whatever you want to call it, to decrease the time restricted during a long combo for the receiving player. So basically people were complaining too much that once they messed up one time, they got locked into a combo that would generally end up in their character dying, and they'd have to just sit there and watch, which I don't want to, be rude to people that don't, like getting beat up on, but it's kind of a common thing in fighting games. When you get stuck in a chain from a player who's really good, you kind of just have to sit there and watch. I'm very familiar with it, coming from Marvel vs. Capcom and other relatively cheap fighting games. Even Fighter Z, when you get stuck in some of those longer combo loops, you just can really sit there and watch. There's not a whole lot you can do unless you're playing a game like Killer Instinct that has combo breaker. But unfortunately, that's not the case in most fighting games. But they've changed it. I'm not going to be salty about it. Honestly, you guys, I'm just excited for this game in general, so I'm rolling with the punches. And even at the very bottom of this, it basically says that these changes aren't permanent. They're going to continue to respond to feedback. So, again, I'm going to hold on to my optimism, but if you are upset, feel free to vent your frustration in the comments below. But the second part of the balance changes objectives is to reduce the risk and penalty of failing to avoid one attack for the receiving player. So I kind of mentioned that when I addressed the first point. People are worried that if you fuck up once, or you screw up once, you basically lose your character because you get stuck in a really long sidesteppy combo that Goten, or in older cases, the Heart Virus Goku, would usually result in your character just flat out getting killed. So they wanted to balance that out and make things seem more even. And again, after a little bit of playtesting, only in PvE, it really seems to me like the sidestep technique is about 50% as useful as what it was before. Details of the changes. When you continue a combo by chaining arts cards, it is now more likely to deal higher damage than before. What this sounds like to me is basically that you have a higher chance to crit if you don't do any inputs in between your usage of arts cards. So if you just red card, yellow card, there seems to be an increased chance to crit. According to what this is saying, again in playtesting, I actually didn't notice a huge difference in chaining my arts cards versus still continuing to sidestep. The damage was roughly about the same, but I was fighting some of the tougher, Friezas in the story, so maybe that had something to do with it. It definitely requires more playtesting, but I will, put a little bit more time into it, see if I can't figure it out. But for now, I still didn't really notice a benefit to just chaining the arts cards together. But let me know if you've noticed something specifically, like if you've heard that noise, the special noise that it makes when you crit. The attacks hit with a little bit more oomph to the sound effects. I don't know if you guys have noticed that, but I definitely have. So let me know if you hear that more often, if you just chain the cards together. But again, for now, I haven't directly noticed a benefit to still just directly chaining the arts cards together. So, I'll take them benefit of the doubt, though, and assume that they're correct in this point that they've made here. The second point, when you use a boost dash or step during a combo, basically when you use the sidestep technique post-nerf, the following attributes will now be weakened. Your key restoration, and with this, you used to get around 7 to 13 key back when you would sidestep before the nerf. Now you get about 3 to 5 key back when you sidestep. Your Vanish Gauge restoration, I can confirm this. The Vanish Gauge really does not move very much at all now. The Arts card draw speed, I can confirm this as well. You used to get a card back every other side dash, in my experience, for the most part, unless you had absurdly good emulator-ish timing. You would usually get a card back every other sidestep. Now it's every third sidestep you will get a new card popping into your hand. And then the battle member standby count timer elapsed. So basically any units that you have on the sidelines, their timers are going to tick down slower now than they did before, which I can confirm that as well. But there are ways to skirt around that. If you use like Hercule, for example, his blue card would automatically drop 10 seconds off everyone's sub-in timers. So that point right there is somewhat circumstantial. You can kind of get around that one. But the first three are serious nerfs to the sidestep technique. Again, there is still a reason to use it, but it's not quite effective. And if I do find out that chaining arts cards together is super beneficial, then you may end up actually wanting to kind of mix in sidestepping with chaining arts cards together. Situation like that I can think of off the top of my head would be like you could a red card, sidestep into a red card, so you still get 5 key back, it's better than nothing, but then instead of dashing forward and sidestepping and yellow card, maybe you just chain your yellow card directly after the red card and you get some chance for boosted damage because you just chain those 2 cards directly. So I do see a definite evolution in the playstyle of the game, and we're going to have to playtest that a little bit more and see what the optimal strategy is. But I do think mixing and matching sidestepping with chaining cards together is going to be the new optimal way to play, along with building proper teams and using your abilities in conjunction to just get that edge in the battlefield and really control whatever happens to be going on. So the red at the bottom basically says it's still possible to sidestep. You can still forward dash cancel out of your key blasts. You can still do the sidestep technique. They haven't actually physically altered anything about doing it in the game at all. You can still do it just to annoy people if you want to. So you can use Vegeta's main ability where he gets 5 cost red cards, Dodoria as well, make them 0 cost, and then sidestep, all day long. It's still an option. It's just they're trying to encourage people to do things maybe a little bit differently and chain some cards together, maybe side dash, do some cancels. So the kind of aspects of the fighting game are still here. They're still, available tools in the game. They're just not quite as oppressively powerful as they were before. And again, at the bottom, they just want to reaffirm that none of these changes are permanent and that, any feedback they get, they will take into consideration. So we just need to keep talking to the devs via the emails from the main menu and on Twitter, these YouTube videos, Reddit, whatever else, everything is better than nothing, right? Communicate. But that's about all I'm going to ramble on about the sidestep. The last bit of good news we have is there's some sales going on as well as login bonuses. So they're going to be giving you double EXP and story stages, half off training times. These are the next 7 days worth of login bonuses right here. So more 30% tickets. Those tickets have been awful for me so far. There's 30% chance to get super old EX units, but 50cc a day, energy tickets, chrono crystals tickets. Great. That's awesome. You got upgrade missions right here. Those are the missions that I was talking about in the events tab earlier when I was in the missions menu. So be sure to check those out. Get tons of basically free rewards right there. And yeah, there's a ultra ticket summon. We're not going to go over that right there. That's the Masters pack right there. So again, I don't know why I keep Xing out of that. Sorry, you guys. I'm extremely tired. I've been awake all night long to film this video, basically. There are some sales on chrono crystals if you are a pay to play or pay to win type of player. there are some special sales going on. The best one being like an $8 sale for a multi-summon. That's the only one that I've bought as of right now. But thank you, GameFlip, again. Even though our agreement is done, I will give them a pro bono shout out. Why not? And then the real meat and potatoes, why we are really here today in this episode. And we're already 15 minutes in, but now we're finally getting to the main chunk of the episode here, which is going to be summons for these two badass mother flippers right here. We got Gogeta and Janemba, or Super Gogeta and Super Janemba, as you can see in the overlay. Amazing new cards to be added into the game. Again, they kind of hit us by surprise, but we had a little bit of forewarning. If you've been on Reddit, they kind of leaked it a couple weeks ago or a week ago. So we were just kind of waiting to see whether it panned out and how soon it would be. But this is a banner that's kind of celebrating the Fusion Reborn movie, which is coming to theaters in North America for probably just a couple of days here soon, and I believe in early November, if I'm not mistaken. But we do have Super Gogeta and Super Janemba. We'll check them out on the actual banner itself, which we're going to jump to right now, actually. Let's lead the video before we start talking about units. Let's do the guaranteed Masters Pack summon right now. Let's see what we get here. So this is a guaranteed sparking. I only need Super Vegeta off of this ticket right here, but there are, ooh, there's Vegeta right there. So maybe that's an omen. We can only hope, right? But at the same time, he is on the new banner with Gogeta and Janemba. So if we don't get him right here, not all hope is lost. We got Vegeta, but not the right Vegeta. Jeez. Super old sparking Vegeta. Alright, well, we got that mess out of the way. We do have daily summons to do, as well as another 30% ticket here. So let's do that next. Let's lead with these tickets that are supposedly good. Supposedly. But I guess it remains to be seen. Alright, so far, I've only gotten extremely old EX units off of all of these tickets so far. And oh, we finally get a sparking off of one of these tickets. We've tripped the 30% rate. So will this be better than the guaranteed sparking ticket? It's a good comparison right here, I guess, right? And not really. Not really at all. We got another sparking Piccolo, and we're about halfway to 7 stars on him. So, yay. Yay for the Masters Pack. It continues to shock and awe me. So let's just kind of get rid of the rest of the daily singles here, and then we'll jump into some unit analysis, and then yeah, we'll make some summons for the big boys themselves. I have 5,000 crystals. I will spend all of them to get hopefully something that's not PyCon, but you never know. Legends Risings have again characteristically been super unlucky for me. Hero Jocko. That's great. Thank you. Thank you, Jocko. Galactic Space Patrolman. I appreciate you. Daily single with just a regular ticket here. But, yeah. So, I know this is all kind of like a tease leading up to the main show. I apologize, you guys. But I didn't do any of these summons, so I just figured I would get all of them out of the way. And, I'm a little loopy again. I haven't slept at all. I stayed up all night for Gogeta and Janemba. Like, who wouldn't, I guess? Any normal, sane person that doesn't care too much about a mobile game, I guess. But that's not us. That's not us here today, anyway. All right, so some other hero trash. I think it was Goku. I wasn't even really paying attention. But we have, let's see, a summon for Android 16 or Goten or Trunks would be ideally what I would pull off this. If I could cherry pick anything at all, that's what it would be. Probably just gonna get another hero. Blue text got beat up. No good signs. That's okay. Let's burn all the bad luck here. Come on, Goku. Just get killed. Yeah, you know, we don't need any of the units off this banner, right? God. Oh, so close. We're 40 points away from a 5-star birder there. All right. So let's do a daily single on the new banner, and then we will again jump in and look at the units really quickly. I have some supplemental pictures from DBZ Space. Shout out to Renzi. He is a god of data mining these games for us, Legends and Dokkan both. I super appreciate you. So the daily single on this is El Zilcho, it seems. I saw someone on, I believe, Twitter or Facebook that pulled the Gogeta on that daily summon. And I'm eternally salty that that wasn't me. Just like I didn't win the $1.6 billion from the Mega Millions. Alright, so enough of my rambling. Let's check out the featured characters here. Your 1% chance to pull the Gogeta. He's got a counter move that's not shown here that's amazingly beautiful as well. It's basically the scene from the Fusion Reborn where Janemba goes to punch him and he doesn't even flinch, and then he responds with the Soul Punisher. So we just saw the basic version of the Soul Punisher on the blue card. This is the Ultimate Arts, the very beautiful version of it right here with the knees to the back of the head. I was really hoping they had a version of this when they teased the blue card training with Shallot in the social campaign, because that blue card version alone by itself is just not enough. You need those knees to the back of the head for a satisfying experience here. But we have pretty good stats here. Strike Attack is the primary focus. He's a melee character, holds 2 red arts cards, lots of tags. So he's good on a regular Saiyans team, just full-blooded Saiyans. He's good on a Super Saiyans team, but he's going to be optimal on the Fusions team, which is in its baby phase right now. It's just got Gogeta, and Gotenks will be arriving shortly. You could also pair him pretty well with Pikkon. He's got a nice buff if Pikkon dies with the Otherworld Warriors kind of situation going on. And he's a movie warrior as well, so Cooler theoretically would, I guess, buff him, I think, right? Cooler buffs movie units, if I'm not mistaken. But he does classify as a unit from the movies. Yeah, Saga's from the movies, so he doesn't really synergize well on that team in terms of giving anything, but he's kind of selfish in that regard. We have nothing out of the ordinary on Strike and Blast. We do have the Soul Punisher, deals massive explode damage, 20% chance to inflict faint on hit. I do not believe it would be better to teach this move to Shallot as opposed to Broly's blue card or Android 17's blue card. Both of them will be a better choice over this right here, but we can go over that in another video. We don't want to drag this on for too long, but Shallot, you know, he can learn moves. Broly, Android 17, probably again better than this one. And you have the counter right here. Counter will activate upon enemies' tap attack or strike arts attack while in fighting pose. Once the counter is activated, enemies' attribute upgrades and buff effects will be erased, and plus 20% to own strike damage inflicted for 10 timer counts. As well, the counter looks absolutely badass. I haven't pulled the unit. I don't really have a way to show it to you. But again, just picture that scene in the movie where Janemba punches Gogeta in the face. Gogeta doesn't even flinch, and then he just mollywops the ever-living F right out of Janemba. That's what you're looking at right there. It's awesome. Judgment is the Ultimate Arts, deals massive explode damage, and automatically restores 50 ki. That's quite powerful. It'll allow you to kind of combo directly out of this, or fake the opponent out and bait them into another combo, hopefully, is what you kind of set yourself up for. And the Gogeta is a great unit right now. He just doesn't have the Fusions team to support him for top meta yet. He's just kind of going to be a floater in a Saiyans or a Super Saiyans or a Movie Warriors team, or a kind of awkward but not pair up with Pikkon. That's kind of what you're looking at right now with Gogeta until we get Gotenks and Bootanks and Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks and maybe Vegito. Something else that's curious to note is, as of right now, they do not differentiate Fusion Dance and Potara, so we'll have to explore that moving into the future to see if the fusions have a difference like they do in Dokkan. Maybe they won't in Legends, and you really can build a Gogeta, Vegito, and Fusion Zamasu team. That would be really awesome if they all just shared the Fusion tag and they kind of didn't separate it between Potara and not Potara. So, potential awesomeness in the future, but baby steps right now. Main ability, I'm going to take you down, draw the Ultimate Arts Judgment. We all know how Ultimate Arts cards work, so I'm not going to spend any more time on that right there, but it's a very good Ultimate Arts card. Ultimate Fusion, 10% to own Strike Arts damage for 10 timer counts upon landing a Strike Arts hit. This would have been absolutely absurd with the Sidestep meta previous to the way it was just adjusted this update, but it's still pretty good. Basically, every time he lands a Strike Arts card, he's going to 10% buff his next Strike Arts card, which stacks until the stacks start to fall off after 10 seconds, or you run out of Strike Arts cards. So, very, very good and OP unique ability right there. The only thing that brings it down is that Sidestep isn't as powerful as it was even yesterday. So, also, plus 10% to own Blast Arts damage for 10 seconds after landing a Blast Arts hit. So it applies to any card that he uses. He will be buffing that particular arts by 10% between red and yellow. No blue, unfortunately, there, but it's good enough as it is. And then I'll Avenge You. He gets plus 20% to damage inflicted for each downed ally. So this kind of sets him up to be an anchor character right here. He will be better if you save him for last. And then as well, in that same regard, if you team him with Pikkon and Pikkon dies, so you're saving Gogeta for last, he'll also have 50% to key restoration speed when Pikkon is defeated. That is an immense buff and is very, very powerful, but it just requires you to team build him with Pikkon, which I guess, again, is fine for now until we have more fusion characters. So, Gogeta, again, super, super awesome. We would love to pull him. We have Janemba next, who actually is the kind of coup de grace on the regeneration team right now. He's actually tagged as a regeneration unit, and you just saw the lightning shower rain right there. But being tagged as a defense type regeneration unit, I like how it says gender unknown. He's just kind of a weird, kind of supernatural creation. But with him being regeneration, he is the 6th unit to complete that team, and he's not really the cherry on top. That'll be Fat Boo when we can replace the EX Yellow Piccolo with Fat Boo. But for right now, he is a great addition to the regeneration team. Stats are very similar to Gogeta, except where Gogeta performs well offensively, Janemba will perform that in the opposite in the defensive regard, but still with a great offensive power also. But he is a defense type and a new good purple unit, honestly. Best purple unit since Android 17. Strike is the Slice. Again, I haven't pulled him, I haven't seen any gameplay with him, but hopefully he whips out the sword for that right there. Blast is normal. You do have the Lightning Shower Rain, which is very similar again to Android 17's special move, and Android 20 as well. Nappa, which is the area of effect. Krillin also, well, the Sparking Krillin anyway. But major explode damage restores Vanishing Gauge by 50% on hit. So he will be, again, a very good defensive unit. He'll restore his Vanishing Gauge when he uses the Lightning Shower Rain. It in and of itself is extremely hard to vanish. And he has the Dimensional Guard, which is honestly the polar opposite of Gogeta's counter. Where Gogeta's counter works on the red cards or the Strike Arts cards, the counter here for Janemba is going to work on the Tap Shot or Blast Arts cards. And basically it's the same thing, but this one is going to buff his own strike damage as well. So he's not buffing his blast damage, even though, I don't know, he's fairly balanced here. There's not really a huge difference between his strike attack and his blast attack. So that's really honestly not that big of a deal. And with the added fact that his strike arts do slice damage, it may help out a little bit more than if it was blast arts in the long run anyways. Main ability, Spatial Control. Like Android 17, he will summon a green card to his hand, and as well, plus 15 cost to all strike arts of the enemies that they can't swap out of. All 3 of the enemies will have that buff applied to them, or debuff, if you will. So it's basically drawing the counter to a yellow card and encouraging the enemy to use a yellow card by increasing the cost of the red cards, which is pretty ingenious. It's a nice technical play right there. Fairly cool, and you can use it after 10 seconds, so you can use this almost, right after the battle starts. Again, regeneration based unit right here, 20% to tag regeneration based strike defense during battle. If you do happen to get him to 5 stars, this will unlock to strike and blast defense, so it's an upgradable Z ability there. He's got Nullify Attribute Downgrade. Every time you sub him in, he will get rid of any negative attributes to him for 10 seconds whenever he enters battle. So basically, if he has any debuffs to his stats, his attributes, those will be removed when you sub him back into battle. and boost inflicted damage up. Kind of similar to Gogeta's, but a little bit different. 20% to damage inflicted for each downed opponent when this character enters battlefield. So again, kind of an anchor mechanic, but instead of for how many allies are gone, which I believe is what Gogeta's is, his is 20% to damage inflicted whenever it's a defeated enemy, correct? Right, let's look at Gogeta again. It's allies, right? Yes, for each downed ally. So it is kind of the more offensive, more villainous version of that power right there. Again, both of these units are great. I am going to go ahead and make a summon for them. It's already 31 minutes into the video, and here we are finally making summons. I know people aren't going to be a huge fan of that, but it is what it is. Some people like the longer videos, some people don't. I apologize, but I will include a timestamp down there so you can just kind of skip right to this part anyway. So, we are blue text. There was a good amount of pods, no Super Saiyan. Probably no luck on this one. It's blowing up in the middle, so unfortunately, it's probably going to be all heroes here. Oh, we got an EX unit. There's no new EX units on this banner. That is interesting to note as well. Just Legends Rising. I would love to get Super Vegeta again as well. This is another opportunity to pick him up. Not that Extreme Vegeta or the Sparking Purple Vegeta that we picked up on that guaranteed ticket. I would love, again, Janemba, Gogeta, and Super Vegeta. I probably said that way too many times as it is. Who do we limit break? Ah, Roshi. The hero Roshi, right? I still don't have EX Roshi after all this time. Let's jump in and do another summon. We'll push right through these, you guys, so the video doesn't have to be any longer than it has to. We got a Dragon Ball animation. Please don't be Pikkon, and I don't really want the blue Super Saiyan Goku, even though I honestly could use another one of him. But we got the Dragon Ball animation, so we know there's something good lurking in here. And we're pushing back Frieza, so guaranteed sparking for sure. What is it going to be? Is it going to be Pikkon? Are we going to be shedding some tears? Or is it going to be something really, really good? Ugh, TM. I'm so sick of EXTM. And EX19 again. Alright, we've gotten plenty of him. Another EX unit. Another EX19. He's going to be 6 stars here pretty soon. And Janemba! Alright, that's really awesome. I'm happy about that. Second multi-summon, we came out with a Janemba. Thank you, Dragon Balls. And another frickin' EXTM. 2 19s and 2 TMs and Janemba. That's really cool. The card art here is, how do we activate this? Is it motion activated? Is it long press? Is it swipe? I'm not entirely sure what's going on, you guys. Alright, well, I'm not going to sit here and keep messing with the card art. I'll figure that out on my own time. But we have 3 more potential summons to make. Again, if you guys are free-to-play players, just be conservative because you do know that Go Tanks, Boo, and Debura are coming soon. Sorry, I was looking at how many pods were in the back there. Kind of hype for Gogeta and Janemba. At least we came out with one of them, you guys. At the end of the day, it wasn't Pikkon. So this is probably going to be only EX units here. I wish one of them would be an EX unit that I don't already have, maybe. Like Roshi. That would be great. Ugh. I'm super stoked about Janemba, though. At least we got, you know, one of him. I'm happy. Happy about that. Another 18. That was a pretty depressing summon right there with only 1 EX unit. But we limit broke Cell Jr. That's good news, right? Green base blast attack. Maybe we control with some Cell Juniors one day. Alright. 2 more multis. The hunt for Gogeta continues. 3 medium-sized oh! Vegeta says, it's my turn! Sit down, Frieza. The Big Bang attack directly to the face. I guess it's a Big Bang attack. I don't know, really. Oh, right off the bat. Another Janemba. Alright, well, 3-star Janemba. That's not necessarily bad. I'm missing Demon King Piccolo for the regeneration team. So, we got another Janemba, though. We've dodged Pikkon twice, but honestly, I wouldn't have been upset if that was Super Vegeta, even though, you know, it wasn't Gogeta. But I'm not upset. I'm not upset at all with that. Straight out the gate, we got hit with another Janemba right there. We have one summon left that we're going to do right now, you guys. Oh, that's still a good sight right there. It's good to see. I'm going to have to squeeze him on, I guess, like a purple team or something. But, hey, we got that birder to 5 stars as well from earlier. Remember seeing you earlier, birder. Alright, so final summon of this particular video, you guys. We probably are not going to see Gogeta here, but you never know. I hope that you guys have had great luck. Of course, in the comments below, let me know what you guys pulled from this banner, be it good, bad. Are you salty? Are you happy? I'd love to hear about it. And of course, I wish you the fire luck. It blew up in the middle this time. No exciting action. So unless we get like a fake out or something here, it's not looking good for Gogeta. Hopefully we can pick him up on a daily summon. I would love to have Gogeta. It's almost a necessity, you guys. We got EX Turles, EX First Form Cell, lots of Cybermen. I think that's the second one I've seen now in this summon. Another EX unit. God damn it, Tien. Alright, well, that was all that I have again for this video, you guys. We did come out with Janemba, which I'm happy about. I love Janemba. He's a great villain, even though he doesn't talk. He's kind of like a Boba Fett style villain almost, but very, very epic. I do hope that you guys, again, had amazing luck on your summons. The video has gone on long enough, approaching 40 minutes almost, so I'm going to cut it here. I hope that you guys do have a great rest of your week into your weekend, though, and comment down below, you guys. I'd love to hear from you what's on your mind. Until the next video, which should be soon, we're going to do some analysis with Janemba here, but outside of that, I will see you again on the next video, you guys. Have a good one, and peace out.